thank you all so much for joining us. I'm so happy to see you all, the lovely faces, those that are in the United States and those that are outside of the United States. How cool. All right, so we are going to get started. I am going to read an excerpt of the book with a special guest. We have a poet in the house that's going to help us. But before we get into that, for those of you who may not be as familiar with Kids More Sugar and what we're all about, I'm just going to give you a brief overview. So I'm going to share my screen with you. And then we are going to do some little fun activities. And share my screen. All righty. And here we go. So the name of the company is Kids More Sugar, and we have a line of positivity coloring storybooks. In our name of our company and in the name of the book series, Cell Phone Sir S.U.G.A.R. Sugar stands for saying unforgettable good affirmations regularly. And the reason why the name of the company is Kids More Sugar is because as I started doing some research, looking into how my programs can be enhanced and how I can help children build their self-esteem, I came across some research, or actually Timothy Morrison, who's on the call, shared with me some research from Dr. Bruce Lipton. And that research basically just provided the science behind how teaching positive thinking, saying affirmations can change our state of mind and change our lives. And part of the research he shared was that 95% of the messages children receive are negative. And that just broke my heart. And I felt like, wow, this is such powerful information. It can change children's lives. We need to teach this more. So that is the story behind the name Kids More Sugar. It's really not about lollipops and candy bars. It's about making sure kids know the value of positive thinking and speaking. And as of December 1st, we now have a total of 8 coloring storybooks that are available, all sold on Amazon. And I have the link in the chat so you can go directly to Amazon to purchase them. There are now 4 books that feature Lil and 4 that feature Will. And I will just pause to say that those characters are named after my mother and father. My mother was Lily, my father was Willie, just 2 incredible, phenomenal people. So part of the way I honor their memory is by naming the main characters after them. All of these books feature a cell phone, and that's Cell Phone Sir S.U.G.A.R. And he's the one who teaches them the affirmations. All of the books that we have will have games that you can go on the website kidsmoresugar.com and play after the children read the books. There are also some conversation starters, some introduction exercises to affirmations. So now that I've shared a little bit about the background of the company, one of the things we're going to do is you all can help me pick a video promo for our logo. So our logo is a spoon with the cell phone in it. So it's like kids open up and have more sugar, more positivity. So I am going to have Soraya start the first one. So she's going to show you 3 videos. And after we've watched all 3, you're going to put into the chat which one you think is the best. So Soraya, I'll let you play the first one. And they're quick, so make sure you pay attention. So that is option 1. Now we'll go to option 2.
Ooh. It plays really fast, guys.
Okay, you
this
want
is
to
number
do
2.
Okay. All right. And then we have number 3. So why don't we do it one more time? So let's look at number 1 again.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Take your time.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yep. This is number 1. Oh, it makes you download it all over again, but here we go.
Okay. We actually just saw the download graphic as opposed to the
Oh, you
actual
didn't?
video. It says,
Okay. Give me 1. Okay, let me try to read. When I try, let me reshare.
okay. And you know what I can do? While you do that, I will share my screen and that way you can get them all loaded up. And I will just give you a little background because we know that everyone has busy schedules. So I'll give you just a little background on what the stories are about. So we are rolling out Will's New Business 2 and Lil Science Experiment 2. So Lil Science Experiment 2 is basically a continuation from the first book. And it's great if you get the first book, but you can read both of these books on their own. I made sure I carried over enough of the first stories. The Science Experiment is about a group of friends who really all want first place. And so they give a lot of thought to what their science experiment is going to be about. So there's some healthy competition. There's some values in there about the process of making good decisions and the spirit of supporting each other. So those are really some good values coming from that book. And I think you are going to enjoy it. If nobody else loves it, I loved it. It's great. Trust me. But read it for yourself and then tell me how great it is. Will's New Business. This is a beautiful young man who's done a very generous thing by starting this bike washing business to get his friend a gift. We are actually going to read some excerpts of that for you. So you're going to get a taste of this book. But we all know that being an entrepreneur and being wonderful doesn't mean you don't run into some challenges. So he runs into an interesting challenge, and you're going to learn some good lessons in this book as well around what it means to be a good friend and the fact that things don't always go your way, but you remain positive. So we will read you some of that. So is it ready now?
Yes, ma'am. I'm
Okay,
ready
so
to share.
okay, so I'll stop and let's look at the videos one more time. Here's number 1.
Yep. Okay, that was number 1. And number 2. Ooh, these videos. Sorry, guys, as you all know, technology.
That's how it is when you're live.
Okay, this is number 2. And number 3.
All right, so now you can put in the chat, which one do you think is the best? We are actually going to be using this in our promo videos going forward. So I'm going to let Soroya do the tally, and then well, actually, we'll do it at the end so that we can move to the next thing since we got started a little bit late. And I am going to share my screen again for a moment. All right, so as I was saying, okay, we're past these now. Okay. Bear with me. All kinds of fun things happening with the computer. Okay, here we go. So I do have a special guest. We have a poet in the house, Protege of Purpose, and we are going to read some excerpts for you from Will's New Business too. So this is going to give you a little taste of what the book is about. So I am going to let Soroya share her screen, and we are going to welcome the poet, Protege of Purpose, and we're going to read you an excerpt. So just to give you a little background, Will has started a bike washing business, and the reason why he originally started it was because he had a friend who was always sad at school, and Will had a cell phone, Sir S.U.G.A.R, and Cell Phone Sir used to cheer him up with the affirmations. He wanted to buy a microphone, and he was doing that by starting a bike washing business. So Will has purchased a phone for Mike. Now Mike has a Cell Phone Sir S.U.G.A.R phone, and the story continues from there. The next day in the lunchroom, Will saw Mike walking towards the tables. Will called Mike to come sit with him and his friends. Mike nodded politely and slowly walked right past Will. Everyone was shocked when Mike sat all alone at an empty table in the corner, just him and his new cell phone, Sir S.U.G.A.R.
Will was sad. Joking Jr. said, whoa, wait. You work hard washing bikes. You got Mike that phone. Now all of your money is gone and Mike is still eating all alone. Laughed Joking Jr.
After school, Will was washing bikes and saying to himself, there will be a better day. Mr. Jammin' Johnny, who owned the corner store, could see Will, and he could tell Will was unhappy.
Mr. Jammin' Johnny called out, hey, Will, let's talk. That made Will smile a little. Will knew that Mr. Jammin' Johnny always sang funny songs. Mr. Jammin' Johnny asked, Will, are you okay?
There is something I just don't understand, said Will. I washed a lot of bikes to buy Mike a cell phone, Sir S.U.G.A.R, said Will.
Yeah, I see Mike playing with that phone and smiling now, said Mr. Jammin' Johnny. You did a good thing getting him that phone.
Well, I don't know how good it is because he still sits all alone, just him and that new phone. Why would he do that? Will asked sadly.
Well, sometimes when you don't know why somebody is doing something, the best thing you can do is ask them if it's okay to ask them why they are doing it, said Mr. Jammin' Johnny.
Ask if I can ask why? Asked Will.
Yes, said Mr. Jammin' Johnny. Sometimes there can be things going on with people that you don't even know. So don't just ask them because it might be something they are not ready to talk about. When you ask if you can ask, that gives them time to think and tell you when they are ready to talk. So don't ask him why he eats alone. Ask him if you can ask him why he eats alone. He may tell you or he may not, said Mr. Jammin' Johnny.
But what do I do if he doesn't tell me? Asked Will.
Then let him know that if he ever does want to talk, you will be glad to listen and help if you can. You got it? Asked Mr. Jammin' Johnny.
Yes, I got it. I am going to ask Mike if I can ask, said Will.
Before you go, Let me sing you a funny song, said Mr. Jammy Johnny. If I wanted something new to bake, and I put macaroni and cheese in a cake, would that be really good or a bad mistake?
As Will went to sleep that night, Cell Phone Sir S.U.G.A.R reminded him to say, when things don't go my way, there will be a better day. I am loved more than all the cakes, cookies, and ice cream in the world. The next day, all of the kids were at the park, and Mike was standing near the basketball court with his puppy. Will's team was playing against Jokin Jr.'s team.
Jokin Jr. looked at Mike and said, I don't want him on my team. What's he going to do? Play ball with one hand and hold the puppy in the other hand?
That's not nice, Jokin Jr., said Will. Will waved for Mike to come play on his team. As Will waved, Mike smiled. His eyes lit up and he looked at Will and started walking slowly. But instead of walking over to Will, Mike sat down.
Time out, time out. Whoa, 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 said Jokin Jr. as he laughed. You called him to come play, but he just did the same thing that he did the other day. He just looked at you and walked away. Laughed Jokin Jr. and his friends.
Will said, come on, let's play ball. But you could tell Will was sad. Will just shook his head and kept on playing. After the game ended, Will started walking home on one side of the road and Mike was walking on the other side. Then Will did a bad thing. Will did a bad, really bad thing. And that is where we will stop the reading so that you all can purchase the book for you and the children in your life and find out what happens next. I see Isaiah. Hey, Addie, do you have a little friend with you, Addie? Okay. Hello, Isaiah.
Savannah's at the pool.
Okay, a lot of my little children were too busy
amazing
for me tonight. Zane's normally always on the call, and Zane has a Boy Scout event. And Isaiah, I see him over there. He is about to start a concert at 7 o'clock. So I didn't think I would see Isaiah, but hello, Isaiah. Okay, all right, so I am going to share my screen and we will finish up, but first let me think. Do you see the poet and how animated she is so wonderfully in reading the book? This is she wonderful, Addie. She is a talented
so awesome.
Poet.
Loved
Yes.
it, loved it. Yeah,
Yes,
you guys
so
need to read the book again or read the other one because that was just so like refreshing. It was almost meditating listening to you guys read. That was beautiful. I'm so excited to get one for my daughter and my daughter's friends.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you for your support. So yes, so Protege Purpose, the poet, Soraya has put her information in the chat. She has a website, an online store where she actually has her poetry on her shirt. So she's just very creative and talented. So I always snag her to help me with my book launches. All right, so you are welcome. So we have a few minutes and I want to honor everyone's time and get you out on time. So I'm going to share my screen one more time and wrap everything up. Why does it take so long to go to the current screen? Okay, there we go. All right. So just so you know, adults have been loving the books and children. So I tell people, don't be surprised who you find reading the books. And just so you know what we have coming up next, early next year, we're going to be coming out with a program that can be used by teachers, parents, to actually teach children how to write affirmations, how to use them. That program is going to be called to Train Your Brain with Sugar. So we're training them to say the unforgettable good affirmations regularly. So look out for that early next year. And then also, Kids More Sugar has been a sponsor of a nonprofit organization that's doing mental wellness work for the whole family, adults, children. We hosted a huge event in September, and it's going to be an annual event. It's a week-long event where we have mental wellness practitioners, holistic practitioners from all around the world, experts giving us advice. The whole event is free, so I encourage everyone to sign up. My link tree is in the chat. It has links in it for everything related to Kids More Sugar. You can follow us wherever you have a social media account, but it also has links for the nonprofit organization MAPS Global Events. The membership is free, so if you click on that website, you can go there and you can sign up for a free membership. So when we have activities and events, you and your family can participate. So that is all I have. There are so many other places you could have been. So thank you for spending this time with me. I'm going to stop sharing my screen again and just find out if anyone has any questions.
I did want to give the tally if you wanted that.
Oh, yes. How did we do?
So it looks like number 3 is a winner with 9 votes. Number 2 had 1 vote, and number 1 had 3 votes. So it looks like number 3 is the winner.
Number
ding, ding,
3. Okay. All right. Well, thank you all for participating in that. I was going to do my pop of positivity. Since we don't have any little ones on the line, I'll let you know what that is in case you want to bring them in the future. The second Tuesday of every month, we have a pop of positivity Zoom call. That's the reason I'm wearing this lovely hat. The children get on and they tell me something that they're proud of, something positive that they have done, and we just celebrate their success. So it's a positive place that they can look forward to coming to every month. So we won't do it tonight, but just so you know, the information is on the website. It's a Zoom call, and I know parents can be busy, so it's all right if children don't stay the whole time. They can just pop on, share their news, we celebrate, and they can pop off. All right. So that is all I have. So if anyone needs to depart, you can. If anyone has any questions or comments, then absolutely feel free to share. But thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
This is so exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you. Mr. Willie Sugar, I guess you're at the restaurant, huh? Thank you, JW. How are you?
I'm good. I'm in an editing session, but I broke out to listen to you. You're great. I got great idea. I'm thinking all sorts of stuff. I'd never been able to see you in action before, so this is wonderful for me. Thanks so very much.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you. I'm glad you got ideas rolling, and I appreciate you stepping
We'll talk
away.
whenever you guys are ready, okay?
Okay,
take care.
Thank you.
Love you
Okay.
guys. Bye-bye.
All right,
Bye, JW.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.